going to say, Mom, one of my favorite things about A Christmas Story is every Christmas, I'm also very thankful that nobody wanted to buy me the pink bunny PJs. So I still have never had to wear that. I have a Wookiee onesie, but I don't have a pink bunny rabbit. Hello, and welcome to the Cup of Tea Critiques podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Chasen, and like always, I'll be joined today by the team that brings you cupofteacritiques.com. Here, we'll dive deep into the productions and topics we broach on our website, so you can decide for yourself if they're your cup of tea. Ready for a deep look with a deep brew? This week's topic, Jingle Bells, the joy of Christmas movies. Cup of Tea Critiques is a family affair, and I'm here with my brother Chris, my mother Reba, and my father Terry. I've been looking forward to this episode all day.
What are some of you guys, just a couple of you guys' favorite Christmas movies?
Oh, I mean, the staple and probably everybody's number one has to be Home Alone.
P.S. You have to sleep on the hide-a-bed with Fuller. If he has something to drink, he's going to wet the bed.
This house is so full of people. It makes me sick. When I grow up and get married, I'm living alone. Did you hear me? I'm living alone. I'm living alone.
You know, I was a boy when that came out, and every kid at that time that watched that movie didn't want to deal with the bandits, but they certainly wanted to booby trap their house the same way that Kevin got a chance to in Home Alone, and some of the other things too. When mom and dad are away, the kids play, kind of deal. And so when he goes down the stairs in his sled, every kid is imagined trying to do something like that without consequences. Even though as we got older, we realized there's no way he could have done that without running into the wall. But nonetheless, it was still fun. So for me, Home Alone's absolutely the number one staple. And then the second one, A Preacher's Wife. In part because the music was great in that. It felt very warm. I appreciated the preacher's struggles throughout and how he was trying to persevere through it. And also Whitney Houston, that woman can sing. But that was one of those times where I felt like, she has a choir background, and just in general, like that church upbringing, I felt like she did a good job of bringing that to us throughout that movie. So those would be my two big ones.
I've had three big ones.
You can only say two.
No,
I said two.
I was trying to be brief. That's why I kept it at two. So I have a feeling since we're going three, Dad's going to take the other one I would have mentioned. But go ahead, Dad.
Of course. That was the first one, Charlie Brown Christmas, of course. That's got to be like my all-time favorite Christmas movie. It's a kid's movie, but I just love the Charlie Brown Christmas. I have to say the other two that probably are neck and neck are The Family Man and This Christmas. Those are two of my favorites. I like The Family Man because I like the story. The story is it's a heartwarming story about Christmas and, what could have been, or I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it. But I would say it is a very good movie to see. And This Christmas, I like the singing. I like the family interactions and whatnot in that one as well. I have a slew of Christmas movies that I've seen or that are popular and I haven't seen, which it's interesting the number of ones that are classic Christmas movies that I have not seen.
That's your three.
It is. I'm done.
Your turn, Chris. We're cutting off your dad.
Well, to zig while you are zagging, I'll go with the Santa Claus. I just always thought that was just a fun movie. It's not like it's the most complicated premise ever, but it was just fun. It was just a fun father and son, family movie. Father and son, and I get the stepfather in there too. It was just an enjoyable movie.
Yeah, because Neil's head comes to a point.
Speaking of movie quotes.
Yeah. So there's that one. You mentioned Uncle Buck, so I'll throw that one in there. Uncle Buck, another just fun movie, for a lot of the same reasons. And the last one, it's probably more of like it was probably more of a two-parter, you know, a TV episode. It was like a TV special, but the Hey Arnold Christmas.
Interesting.
That one was it's interesting because, you know, obviously it's a cartoon and it's, you know, typically, you know, comedy is the genre you would probably throw it into, but that was actually one of the more serious. I mean, there were, you know, jokes here and there, but it was one of the more serious episodes. One of the tenants, you know, in Arnold's building is trying to find his daughter that he was separated from a long time ago before he came to America. And so it's just it's actually very serious and very heartfelt, and it's like it's a tearjerker. Like the ending is very emotional. So it's a little different than some of the other ones we named, but I did like that one.
Go ahead, kid. Tell us what you want.
A pair of Nancy Spumoni snow boots. I don't get it. What's so funny?
We've been sold out of those boots for a month. But in all seriousness, if you want to put your name on a waiting list, I could get you a pair by, say, the 4th of July.
4th of July!
It's unusual to find an animated show as a tearjerker. So that's very interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. So
although Charlie Brown had a couple of, you know, had a couple sentimental moments too, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I really enjoyed the speech that they gave in Charlie Brown. That was why I initially would have made that my third one, but, you know, Dad snaked it because I didn't say it fast enough. However, I'm going to snake this one from him because I'm surprised he didn't mention this in his top 3. And since I only listed 2, I'll go 3. Hello, A Christmas Story.
Dad doesn't like that one.
Dad
doesn't like that one.
Dad, I don't know what's wrong with you on that one. We're going to have to work on you with that. But you're not the only one that I know that's like that, but I don't get it. But A Christmas Story is absolutely one of the best Christmas movies of all time.
Stick my tongue to that stupid pole, that's dumb. That's because you know it'll stick. You're full of it. Oh, yeah? Yeah! Well, I double dog dare you.
Now it was serious. A double dog dare. What else was left but a triple dare you? And finally, the coup de grace of all dares, the sinister triple dog dare.
I triple dog dare you.
Schwartz created a slight breach of etiquette by skipping the triple dare and going right for the throat.
You could throw that on in July if you wanted to. They have Christmas in July and enjoy that one. But back when I worked for the video store, and Sunday mornings in particular, we had to do the new release inventory. So that took several hours to do, you know, before we even opened. And so I would just throw that on and listen to it as I was going ahead and do an inventory for the entire morning. So it worked for me. It's freaking hilarious. And it was a great way to start my early morning, given that I didn't have enough coffee to get through the inventory. At least that kept me enough laughs to get through the morning.
Yeah, for me, so Brandon stole mine. But what's interesting about this, well, first let me give my 2. My first would be Miracle on 34th Street, and I am talking about the original Miracle on 34th Street. I remember trying to watch the newer version, and it just did not do it for me. I'm not even crazy about the colorized version, as a matter of fact. I kind of like the black and white version. And I guess it's because I still have this. Yes, I'm a grown woman. I know there's no such thing as Santa Claus, but there's this tiny
children that might be listening.
There's this tiny, I guess, spot in my head that still maintains that fantasy, that magical feeling of Christmas when my parents would wait until we were asleep to sit the gifts out, and I really did believe, you know, Santa Claus brought those gifts. And that was just a magical time for me. It was and so I guess that's what that's all about. And so I love the idea of something like that, of a creature like that. So
lucky, Mrs. Walker. Lovely little girl you have here.
Thank you. And Susan's the reason I asked you to drop down. She's a little confused, and I thought maybe you could help to straighten her out.
I'd be glad to.
Would you please tell her that you're not really Santa Claus? That there actually is no such person?
Well, I'm sorry to disagree with you, Mrs. Walker, but not only is there such a person, but here I am to prove it.
No. You misunderstand. I want you to tell her the truth. What's your name?
Kris Kringle. I'll bet you're in the 1st grade.
2nd.
I mean your real name.
That is my real name. Second grade?
It's a progressive school.
Oh, it's a progressive
Miracle
school.
on 34th Street, I just absolutely loved. And A Christmas Story. I agree with Brandon about the hilarity of that story. I thought the kids play and the kid getting stuck on a pole, and I understand the kids, obsession with the kind of toy he wanted for Christmas. I just understood all of that. And so, and even regarding the fear of the bully in the neighborhood, everybody can relate to. I shouldn't say everybody. I sure can. Bully in the neighborhood. So,
Mom, one of my favorite things about A Christmas Story is every Christmas, I'm also very thankful that nobody wanted to buy me the pink bunny PJs. So I still have never had to wear that. I have a Wookiee onesie, but I don't have a pink bunny rabbit.
Wait, are you suggesting that we should go out and get you a onesie, Brandon?
I'm
we
not
blow
going to
that?
get past you guys to go ahead
We
and do it
blew
now.
that.
But
We blew that.
That's one thing. When I watched that movie, I'm like, thank God they didn't do that to me.
We still can.
Like I said, I don't put it past you guys. Actually, I'll keep last names out of it, but my guy Corey is a huge fan of the movie as well. And he shared on Facebook recently that he went to school. They were having kind of like Spirit Week, I guess, or whatever like that. And he actually has a pink bunny outfit that he wears. He's really cool. He jumps into the whole, Spirit Week and stuff at the school. And so he wore his pink bunny outfit that day. He came home to an early Christmas present. His wife and son got him the lamp from that movie as well. They did. They let him open it early because the reason they let him open it early is they said there was no way to hide that gift. But he shared on Facebook that he received that, and I was like, this is kind of cool. And it just so happened to be the day that he wore that outfit too. So, Corey, if you're listening, man, shout out to you and your family. That was pretty cool.
That's pretty funny. So how would you guys say your tastes have changed in Christmas movies over the years, from childhood to adulthood?
Well, of course, obviously, Charlie Brown Christmas. There are a number of others. Mostly, I guess, it's a mix between animated and non-animated movies, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I really enjoyed that as a kid. Miracle on 34th Street was a big one for me. It's the whole magic of that, and the fact that she was kind of skeptical and she tried to have these adult feelings and all that. And then when it all boiled down to it, she was really giddy about the fact that, hey, Santa's real. So, those were the childhood ones. The ones more as an adult, again, The Family Man and This Christmas, they're just, I don't know, it's the way they make me feel. It's, I guess it's with all of those. And I think that's the thing about Christmas movies in general. It's that time of year, like you said, things are kind of magical and they give you these, I don't know, these feelings of warmth and comfort. I always enjoy the ones that you and I watch now because it's shared time and, it just sort of gets you going with the whole Christmas spirit and whatnot.
For myself, really, what I find is I long for a lot of the stuff that I watched as a kid now that I'm an adult. And I think it has a lot to do with the magic and fun that those stories portrayed for me. For example, like one of my favorite things to try and track down, we've already mentioned the Charlie Brown Christmas. I thought for kids, that was a nice, heartwarming way and fun way for kids to get the message across. But one of my favorites that I really do try and find it every Christmas is A Garfield Christmas. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite things about that one, and I've tried sharing this with Bella as well.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, Garfield. Here, let me show you. Now watch this. This gift-giving machine can read your mind. Whatever you think of, it will give you. Observe.
And just the idea that, like, whatever you want, you can have was a fun way to start it. And the other thing, though, is that Garfield Christmas ends with the grandmother being presented the old letters that she had from her husband, who had, as the story goes along, he's deceased now, but she said that was the best gift that the cat could have given, the Garfield could have ever given, because it allowed her that warm moment of memories with with her husband. And so for a kid's level, it reminded me that family's still first. I can always want all the gifts in the world that I could want, but family will always be the most endearing gift of all. And so I think that's why every Christmas, that's the one thing that I try and chase. I try and find that specific movie for that reason. And as an adult, to fully answer your question, Mom, I find that I chase that as an adult more than I did as a kid. Mm-hmm. Chase those types of Christmas stories.
Interesting. It's interesting you bring that up too, because I remember when you brought up working at a video store earlier too, and I remember one Christmas you had to work on Christmas Day once, and you were really sad about that you had to work on Christmas Day. And so what we said we'd do, we would stay up late and wait for you so we could do something as a family together, and we would watch Lord of the Rings together. So you got off work at like 11 o'clock at night. I can't remember how late it was.
1 a.m. is when I came in the door. It was closed at midnight.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, we were going to stay up late so we could watch Lord of the Rings, at least one installment of Lord of the Rings with you, because you were just so sad about having to work. We'll tell you, it was tough. It was really tough. But the point I'm trying to make here, though, is that we are, effectively, to use your words, Brandon, chasing family, that there's something about the holidays that makes us want to be close to family. And not just friends. I mean, family. It seems to be a family that's important. The family element is truly important.
Yeah, I don't know if my taste has really changed over the years. I think I kind of like the same stuff. I think the more sentimental stuff might hit a little harder than it did when I was a kid, and I kind of just wanted more funny. But other than that, I don't know that my taste has changed. One thing that stuck out to me about the articles that we read was when they mentioned that we like the predictability of Christmas movies, because generally predictable is something we criticize movies for being.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's funny that it's so opposite, that in that time of the year that we're seeking something comfortable, something that we know where it's going, and we ideally know it's going to end happy, and usually with people being reunited, I would say is the ending to a lot of Christmas movies, even if it's just for that short time. And it got me thinking about kind of the theme of our of Cup of Tea critiques, that we know sometimes movies may not be critically acclaimed or even popular among people but they hit you a certain way because you have an affinity for whatever kind of movie that is. And so I just thought it was interesting that something people love about Christmas movies is something we criticize about pretty much every other movie.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite interesting. But they can only take so much of it, wouldn't you say? I mean, so as I ask this question, I am thinking about a lot of the Hallmark-like movies. The romance, Christmas, predictable relationship, light movies. Everybody in the community gathering around together and drinking cocoa and singing carols and all that. Really, really light movies. Can you imagine spending Christmas, the 6 weeks or so, spending that holiday season just watching movies like that? I mean, to me, it seems mind-numbing to watch movies like that over the season. There has to be something that shakes it up a bit. There has to be Christmas movies across different genres, in my view. You understand what I'm saying? Am I not articulating
I hear what you're saying.
I think I hear what you're saying. Go ahead,
They
Dan.
have them on. No, I was just going to say, yeah, I know. Stations like Hallmark have those things going, on a loop. And yeah, I guess after a while, that exact type of thing over and over again would become nauseating. But it's funny how I can kind of sit through a bunch of them without feeling that way for a long period of time. And it's because of that whole, lighthearted predictability, warm feeling kind of a thing. But to your point, I think at least my list or our list, all of the movies that we've mentioned, they're different in certain ways. They all have certain themes that are in common in terms of, family and warmth and all of that, but they are slightly different. They do, I guess they get to the point in different ways. So it makes them not exactly rote like the Hallmark type movies.
There is a picture that was taken, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago. There's a picture of Belle and myself sitting at the table in the dining room at your place. And I find myself chasing that image. It's just the two of us having a conversation. She's like 5, 6 years old, looking up at her dad. It's very clear that we're having a moment that like we just are happy to be with each other or whatever. When it comes to Christmas movies as an adult now, that's what I'm chasing. I'm chasing movies and moments that I can sit down with Belle and feel like I did right in that moment, where I know I was sitting there talking to her and there was nothing more important in the world. So I've become a whole lot sappier as I've gotten older, but it's still very much in relation to my child. Like, very few people can get me to sit still. If Belle asked me to sit and watch any of those stories, I'd pop the popcorn, sit down, and she'd have me for the whole time.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. It's not surprising, though. I guess what I'm getting at is this. So I asked you guys your favorite Christmas movies, but there are movies we like at Christmas that are not truly Christmas movies. So one of my favorite movies to watch at Christmas time, for example, is Enemy of the State. That is just a movie that happened to be filmed around Christmas, right?
Yeah.
So how's the trout?
Tastes like fish.
It is fish.
No, I mean, it tastes like every other fish I've ever had.
Okay. Brill's note said that this is the videotape that you need to convince Pintero with, and watch out for the FBI. Brill says the place is under surveillance.
So when do I get to meet him?
Pintero?
Brill.
Never.
And
Die
so
Hard
my
is a
point,
Christmas movie, though.
Yes.
okay,
Die Hard.
Yeah. Why is it a Christmas movie?
Because it happened at Christmas time.
so did Enemy of the State, but it's not a Christmas movie.
Of course.
But we watch it every Christmas, so doesn't it now make it a Christmas movie?
Yes.
No, but this is what I was getting to, how our as we get older, our tastes in movies at Christmas time change.
Okay. But
I go back and forth on Die Hard because I used to say it was a Christmas movie, but now I especially reading the articles today, I think I'm a little flipped on it just because if what people are seeking is comfort and predictability and warm fuzzies, a movie with life or death stakes and terrorists and gunfire and people getting thrown out of buildings and people falling out of buildings and people getting shot point blank in the head and blood splattering on windows. I don't know if it fits the bill.
Exactly. Wait. It does, and for those that are too late to this party, that's on you. It ends with a warm embrace between, husband and wife or ex-husband, but I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, it still ended up being a love story in that sense. So with a warm embrace that just so happens to have the backdrop of Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
about 5 minutes after the cop shoots the last remaining terrorist 6 times to get over the fear he had of shooting again because he shot a kid one time.
The only thing that could have made that any better and cemented it as a Christmas movie is if he had shot him in the rhythm of a Christmas song, like bang, 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 bang.
You gotta watch it again. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of those things you gotta catch
edition, edit it like that.
But you also take that and you go back to, what is it that defines a Christmas movie? And so you think, seriously, you think about this. So we were talking about, Enemy of the State and Die Hard. And just because it happens to be done at Christmas, it's suddenly a Christmas movie. And don't think that wasn't intentional on the producers, on the filmmakers' part, okay? They want people to get it in their head that this is something they want you to come back to at Christmas every year. And if they were successful at it. But you also think about when movies are released. And so for about an 8-year period, we had some fantastic movies released around the holidays, around Thanksgiving, Christmas holidays, the Harry Potters,
Lord of the Rings.
There you go, and the Lord of the Rings. So we had those movies released for a consecutive 8-year period. And so what did we do when you had to work that holiday, Brandon? We said we're going to stay up late so we can watch Lord of the Rings. It's not a holiday movie. It's something we identified with the holiday.
It had elves.
I do find it hilarious.
I heard you.
Die Hard was actually released in July.
A lot of Christmas movies are released in July. That's not unusual. A lot of Christmas movies are released in July.
Yeah, because, back when they came out, it was going to be coming out on video by Christmas, basically.
Yeah.
If you think about it. So.
Yeah.
But, okay, Mom, to your point, I want to follow your question or add to your question because you're right. Those movies were released either on Blu-ray or in theaters around Christmas time. And in general, there are a lot of movies that are released during the holidays that are not holiday themed. I believe it was one year at Christmas time, we went and saw Alien versus Predator or something like that at the theaters. We went as a whole family, extended family came along with as well. I think it was a Christmas or two ago. Chris, Dad, you guys went and saw Nosferatu, which I don't know how vampires have anything to do with Santa, elves, and the holiday spirit, but that's a Christmas release. So, I mean, does the category of holiday movie expand because of, when things are released?
No.
Yeah.
No,
I think I said that, but I posed it more to the audience, but I agree with y'all.
I think sometimes movies are just released based on the expectations of the studio releasing it.
When people will be available to go to the theaters too. A lot of people take time off and families together, so they know that they'll be looking for something to do. It's a great time to release the movie. But there's also what is it? What is the competition? They know when the Lord of the Rings movies were coming out, when Harry Potter was coming out. None of these other movies were really going to be able to compete they weren't going to do well at that time. So I think sometimes when movies get released, it's less how they want you to view it and more it's just we're not really going to do well that weekend, or we're not going to do well in that time frame. That's fair.
So then backtrack to Mom's question then, does a movie, no matter which style or whatever, as long as it's set in the holiday, does it constitute being a holiday movie? Or does it have to be holiday themed, in some way, shape, form, or fashion for it to actually be a Christmas movie?
I don't think anyone can officially, stamp a movie as, a holiday movie. What I'm thinking about is how we identify a movie as a holiday movie, how we identify it as a holiday movie. So we identify Die Hard as a holiday movie in large part, because of, this Christmas stuff in it. That's how we identify it. But Enemy of the State, there's not a whole lot of that. It's enough, I guess, for us to identify it as a holiday movie, or perhaps that movie was released. I don't remember when.
November 20th.
There you go. And so perhaps when it was released is another factor. But there are other movies, I'm sure, that were released around the holiday. As I said, Lord of the Rings, ain't nothing Christmas in there. There's nothing Christmassy in Lord of the Rings. There's nothing Christmassy in Harry Potter's, but we associate them with Christmas. That's what we sit down and watch those as a family at Christmas.
There is one thing that identifies Harry Potter as a Christmas movie, and it's only the first one, though, because during the first Christmas movie, anyway, actually it happens later on, but the first one specifically had a time where Harry and Ron stayed at the castle for the holiday. And so we got to see the whole theme with the castle, with the tree. They exchanged gifts. That all happened at Christmas. So that, at least for the first Harry Potter movie, people could probably feel in some way that it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. We're talking about Christmas movies, and there are not a lot of movies centered on Hanukkah. There are not a lot of movies centered on Islam and other religious traditions.
Yeah,
and so there's a very, very strong bias there, which is to a large degree it's understandable in the sense that the United States is overwhelmingly Christian, but there's a sizable enough population for other films to squeeze through.
You're right, Mom. There aren't enough of those to make sure that it seems to be more inclusive. However, a few movies actually that come. A Rugrats Hanukkah was a cartoon movie done. I didn't see that one myself. I also didn't see this one, but I was told it was really, really good. Was 8 Crazy Nights, which is Adam Sandler's movie. And then a last one that I do remember this movie as a kid, An American Tail. About Bibles.
I watched that. Yep.
And that's another one, a Russian Mouse, but it deals with, Hanukkah and the season and everything like that. So there are some examples of that at least Jewish holiday movies anyways. And I'm sure if we search, I'm sure we can find some others. But the point being is that I agree we should have more inclusive holiday movies. It'd be nice if they bring those around. But you're right, it is a primarily Christian pushed holiday endeavor in terms of the movies.
Yeah, for sure. An American Tail, I thought, was a really long movie. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, okay, it was an hour 20 minutes. It sure seemed longer than that to me.
It's a much slower movie. There's not as much action.
Wow, it was An American Tail.
It was a long tale.
How about an American anecdote next time?
An hour 20 makes that an hour and 20 minute long cartoon is like a children's epic. Like that's essentially what that is.
It's gotta be one of the worst critiques to hear about your movie. Yeah, it felt longer than it was.
Yeah, especially when it was short.
So, Chris reviewed a wonderful independent film last year, that was released at the theaters called Between the Temples. And if I'm correct, Chris, I thought it was released around this time last year, right around the holidays, probably in anticipation of Hanukkah. And it was a wonderful film.
January 19th.
Okay, it was right after the holidays then. But Between the Temples, I thought Between the Temples was really good. I thought it was really good. I wish I could think of some more examples here, but I can't off the bat, which says an awful lot.
Okay. Classic Christmas movies. There are some that I have seen, obviously, and many classic Christmas movies I have never seen in their entirety. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. People love it. I've never seen the whole thing.
All of its different versions.
Yeah. A Christmas Carol. I've seen that. It's a Wonderful Life. Another snooze fest.
No. If you're trying to put me in a coma, put that on at Christmas. That'll work better than the itis.
White Christmas.
Also put me in a coma.
Yeah. And a movie that I liked was about an entire school year, and the thing is, the Christmas part of it stuck out to me, and it's a very old movie, The Trouble with Angels, an old Haley Mills movie. But last and not least, two movies that I think I like, in addition to all the others that we've mentioned, are Prancer, which is a fun kids movie.
Yeah, it was good.
And another, Jack Frost.
That was great, right?
Did you see that?
Yes, one time. Did you see me going down? You know, the nice thing about having these big balls, excuse me, for snowboarding is look how you can move around them. You know, I like the roundedness. You can throw your weight over, shift it on this side of the board, catch an edge. Better than being skinny.
Hold on. You almost got me killed.
Hey, I saved your butt too, pal.
Yeah, right. So I'm supposed to believe that you're my dad?
Hey, do me a favor. Go easy on me, because I'm having a little bit of trouble dealing with it myself, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that one up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
So Jack Frost, I only watched once in its entirety. And it stinks that when it comes on television, I always seem to catch it as I need to get out the door. But this may sound a little sad or whatever. For me, what I love about Jack Frost is not even the entirety of the story. It's specifically Kelly Preston.
Yeah.
And that is because prior to seeing that movie, my only experience with her was Jerry Maguire. So I know the woman that was just absolutely mean and everything to Jerry. She had a foul mouth. I mean, hilarious. She was wonderful in that role. But Jack Frost to me is like that. You guys told me that she was more like this and a lot of her other stuff, but just so warm and loving. She did an excellent job of coming across as that loving character, that warm mother for the entirety of that film. And I absolutely love seeing her in that role. And like every Christmas now, since she's passed, I didn't know her personally, obviously, but it's like I feel sad too because I can only imagine what John Travolta and their family must feel with her absence if she was able to portray that so well to us.
So before we go, what is the one Christmas movie you will make it a point to watch before the season ends?
I don't know. I think it's two of them that we typically.
He's doing multiples.
I'm saying is that what it is. We tend to
know you, not me.
We tend to do well. We watch them together. I never watch. Yeah, I know. I know you do. Is that cheating? The Family Man and This Christmas are two movies that we tend to put on every year, and of course, Enemy of the State.
I was about to say, I have a feeling that, being home for Christmas this year, Mom, you're going to start watching it. And I feel like this has happened a few times over the last few years anyways. I will not be interested in the moment, and then I end up watching almost the whole dang movie with you all.
Yeah.
So I'll say that's one that I won't. Enemy of the State. Yeah. So that's one that I'm quite certain that I won't get through the holidays without watching. But actually, I'll tell you right now, my plans tonight are to watch Charlie Brown on Christmas because it's available on streaming. So, yep.
So if I had to pick one, it would be Family Man. That's the one that every year that I've.
Yeah, I know you really enjoy Family Man. Enemy of the State, for sure. For me, I can't get through a year without watching it. But I will admit that, not to be a downer here, that after losing Gene Hackman, Enemy of the State's going to feel different. It's going to feel different for me. This will be the first time I've watched Enemy of the State since losing him, and losing him in such a terrible way, in my view, after so many decades in the industry.
In guerrilla warfare, you try to use your weaknesses as strengths.
Such as?
Well, if they're big and you're small, then you're mobile and they're slow.
And so if I have to answer this question next year, I don't know if my answer will be the same. So, yeah, it's not going to feel the same this year.
Chris, what about you?
I think for me, probably Home Alone. And I think Home Alone's just gotten funnier over the years. Not even just because, not even the the movie, more the situation than the movie quotes itself. So, like, I think social media has made it funnier because it actually like zooms out and looks at like just how ridiculous the actual premise is. Like it really kind of and the fact that the dad of the movie is just gets away with like he's completely clueless. He's completely like he's kind of an oaf. And we know nobody actually talks because you're caught up in the, how does Kevin defend himself? How does he adjust to being home alone? And does he regret wishing his family away and all that kind of stuff? And then, the mother doing everything she can to get back home. And it kind of ignores the fact that the dad is just kind of, this complete stooge in the movie.
Chris,
that's kind of funny.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to the Cup of Tea Critiques podcast. Honestly, we could go on and on like we do at our dinner table, but we appreciate you figuring out your cup of tea along with us. Make sure you rate and follow us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Also, leave a comment telling us some of your favorite holiday movies. You can stay in the loop on all things COTC by subscribing on our website at cupofteacritiques.com. You can also find us on Facebook, check out our Instagram at Cup of Tea Critiques, and on Letterboxd at COT Critiques. For Reba, Terry, and Chris, I'm Brandon. We'll see you after the new year for another deep look with a deep brew.